This is kind of an impromptu conversation, but you guys know how I feel about sacks. I didn't even realize that sacks weren't even a recorded stat until like the early 80s, which is crazy to me. So I was born and what was it? What was it? It was a tackle. So it wasn't a sack, right? So I guess it was a tackle. So there's a lot of unofficial sack leaders out there. But somebody in the comment section mentioned just something about how we have said, this is coming from Stephen S., said, we only talk about all these pass rushers because Hutch went down and we were desperate. As of today, we don't really need Miles, Max, or Trey. And I disagree with that. So I want to know what you guys think in the chat, in the comment section. Here's why I disagree with that. I think the Lions defense is getting more credit than they deserve. They are. Pass rush is pathetic. It's pathetic. It will not be any better next year unless Brad Holmes does something about it. Now, the retort to this is we don't need Miles, Max, or Trey, is that we can draft somebody in the draft, okay? We have a late first-round pick. We have a late second-round pick. We have no third-round pick. We have to take a chance on the fourth, fifth, or whatever we have. That's that, right? Our defensive line is completely depleted. Marcus Davenport was on a one-year deal. Aleem McNeil, we don't even know if he's going to be ready to go by the start of the season. And if so, is he going to be 100%? He will not play unless he's 100%. Aiden Hutchinson, he probably will come back. But that's 2 out of the 4 starters that we had going into 2024 that we'll have on the team. We still need 2 more, right? Either way it goes, we need an edge opposite Hutch. Now you could say, okay, that edge is Zadarius Smith. Okay, cool. Zadarius Smith is a mid-level pass rusher. I love him. Don't get me wrong. I love him. He fits in perfectly here. No disrespect. He's also 32 years old. He'll probably be 33 years old. Now, Khalil Mack is 34 and is still that guy. But what happens when Zadarius needs a breather? Right now, if Zadarius fills in for Davenport, then what happens? But the reason that I don't want to trust it to a draft pick when you can get somebody established is because we know what this established person can do. Let's use this for example. The Detroit Lions did not sack Josh Allen one time. As a matter of fact, put it in the comment section because this is all off the top of the head. The quarterbacks that we are facing potentially in the AFC Super Bowl, right? If we make the Super Bowl, will be Josh Allen. We faced him this year. We did not sack him. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Lamar Jackson, 2023. We did not sack him. Patrick Mahomes, the first game of the 2023 season. We did not sack him. We did not sack him, right? Let's look at the Buffalo Bills versus the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos had the most sacks in the NFL in the regular season. They sacked Josh Allen 4 times. You know why they lost? Because it's the Buffalo Bills, the second offense in the league. The Denver Broncos just barely made the dance. That's why they lost, right? It's hard to stop the second offense in the league. But they sacked Josh Allen. But their offense couldn't do anything. And then eventually the defense, they struck first, right? Sacks are a big deal. They are important. And we will see that. We will see that. Now, I'm not saying that the Detroit Lions can't win it all with no sacks. But when it matters, can we get to the quarterback? We will see. And right now, we can't. We can't. So for me, I'm taking an established pass rusher. I'm also adding one in the draft because that's how pathetic our defensive line is. And if you look at the history of Brad Holmes drafting a defensive line, how many standouts on that defensive line do we have? Aiden Hutchinson, Aleem McNeil. We did not draft a single defensive lineman that you can say matters outside of those 2. Are you going to say Josh Pascal matters? Or are you going to be Homer? Are you going to say Levi matters? Or are you going to be a Homer? I heard Dan Campbell talking about Muhammad, and I'm thinking, you know what? Muhammad he could wind up on a 53 next year. He could wind up praising high praise, and that's all great and wonderful. But if we have an opportunity to get a game-changing pass rusher, then we need to do that. We need to do that. So that's my thoughts. I disagree. Let me know what you think in the comments.